Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Cabby, CEO and owner of Locklicious, an all-natural product line for locked and loose natural crowns. And today is the day that I actually do all of my orders or all of my rose water and products that I'm going to send to Amazon. Today is the day that I typically do that. Just a precursor, if you hear a bunch of noise in the background, it's my husband running our auto labeler for our bottles, labeling of our bottles. But yeah, today is that day. But I did want to come on before. Obviously, in my previous lives, I have stated that I am terrible at multitasking, so I can't do a bunch of things at once. So while I would love to make product and talk, it's just not possible. When I do something, I need to be focused on it. So I decided to come on live before I actually start making the products that I'm going to send into Amazon for this week. Um, I'll be sending in that rose water, and I'll probably also send in the growth oil. So we'll be doing that today. Yeah, but I just wanted to pop in and just talk about some of the things that is going on right now for creators. We obviously have this TikTok ban that has just hit, I think today, the 19th, and so what that's going to mean is going to have a lot of creators and people who have built their businesses on TikTok really trying to scramble if they haven't made other arrangements prior to this, which I hope most responsible business owners would have made that those arrangements prior to getting to this point. But if they haven't, I'm sure people are going to be scrambling trying to figure out um, how to basically funnel their traffic from TikTok to um, their website or maybe Instagram or YouTube, whatever they're trying to do. But the reality is, right now, if you have a TikTok shop or a business that was fueled, maybe you didn't have a TikTok shop but you were using Instagram to grow your audience. I think in those cases people are fine because they already have the emails of their customers, so they can definitely do some remarketing campaigns. But for people who were just using TikTok shop as their primary means of orders or getting orders, it's going to be difficult because I had a TikTok shop and I did sell a few items. I would say I probably didn't sell more than 10, 15 items on in my TikTok shop. Didn't sell that many. But what I did notice is that you don't get any email addresses, and but you do get the person's uh, home address, but you can't really do much with that, with the home address. And we don't market like that these days. So it was really difficult for these people to really be considered your customer. So, and also the same can be said for Walmart as well. Walmart is like that, walmart.com. Like, they're not really your customers. And the same with Amazon. Any people that buy my things on my product on Amazon, I have no touch with them. I can't communicate with customers on Amazon because that customer technically belongs to Amazon. And so that's kind of how it is with TikTok. You might you're privy to the customer's name, but not much else other than the person's name and their address. But there's no effort for you there's no way for you to reach back out to them and to continue that business effort. There's no way to do that. So so what we're finding is that businesses will be scrambling, and they're hopefully, like I said, you responsible business owners, those who have made millions, people have made millions on TikTok. Hopefully they have figured out a way to funnel that traffic other places, because this ban was leading up, right? For several months, this was a talk. And so hopefully people took advantage of the warnings and things that went forth regarding the ban on TikTok, and they were able to secure other avenues for their businesses. But my experience on TikTok shop, I did try. Did I try hard enough? Maybe not. I did a few lives for like an hour, stayed on for an hour on TikTok live, trying to sell my product. And I did it, 2 or 3 times. And it just really it didn't pan out for me, honestly. It really didn't pan out. Um, and I accepted it, that it just wasn't. And because, you hear over time, you hear that you can run the machine if you need to. Over time, you hear that it really depends on how well your TikTok account takes off when you first open your account. And so usually by the first couple of posts, if that account is going to be good or not. And it's really kind of like, for lack of better terms, the luck of the draw. So a lot of times people would recommend that if your posts weren't getting, good reviews, good viewership and people liking and all these other things, then you probably should close that account and open up a new TikTok account. But who has time to do all that? So I feel like my account might have not been the best because I had opened it and then I didn't really post regularly, and then I would leave it and come back. And so I don't think it was, prime for, to go viral. Anything that it was only one post that I did that sort of kind of went viral. And I say sort of kind of because 70, 80,000 views to me isn't viral. But but everything else, was under that. The average, the norm was like 400 or 500, maybe 1,000 views. And you had some that performed decent. So those would be the ones that were over 10,000 views. And then you had some that were, performed a little bit slightly better. But, I just found that, it was difficult, even though I was just basically taking the same content, because I had a bit of success with, so my TikTok account only had like about 8, almost 9,000 followers. Whereas my Instagram, I saw a bit more engagement with Instagram. And so right now I have about 20,000 followers on Instagram, and I don't even post regularly at this point. And I doubt I will, because I just feel that at this time that it doesn't give me what I need to have to post every day. That's a job. And so if you have a business, you absolutely either are going to need to have budget for, somebody to run your social media, because as an owner operator, it's very difficult. It is very, very difficult to, run and operate your business and your social media. So I would recommend having someone, maybe if you have a business and you have a team or, somebody who can help you run that, I would recommend that, because I was doing it all myself. And, for a while I was doing a lot on Instagram, but, oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, what I realized is all of that I did to build up an Instagram following really didn't equate to sales. It didn't. It equate to people who maybe love the brand, yeah. But did it, equate to sales? No. What I found help my sales is Facebook ads. That's what has, catapulted my business. Really, is Facebook ads. And yeah, that and the great thing about Facebook ads, I don't have to produce content every day, which is what I love, because I started to dislike posting content, because especially if you work hard to get this this video up, and then sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it could be a really good video, but for some reason the algorithm doesn't pick it up. And so you're just left with, all this time that you spent creating a video, creating a reel, or creating a TikTok video, and it just doesn't take off. So I just decided I had to do something else, because I wasn't seeing sales from any of those platforms. So I realized that because I had a background in doing Facebook ads, I'm gonna do my own Facebook ads. And so that's what I've been doing ever since, and it's been working. Facebook ads work. So, but you definitely have to have, in order for Facebook ads to really work for your business, what you have to, I already have a following. So I had a page, and I think on my page, I at least had 10,000 followers on that page, on Facebook page. And right now I have about maybe 15,000 followers, because when people click on your ad, what happens is they're gonna click on your ad. They might go to your website, or they might decide to click on the profile to go to your profile. So I think it's really important to try to build up your Facebook followers. And how to build up your Facebook followers is very, very easy. This is what you do to build up your Facebook page following so that when you run an ad, people will click on your ad. So you basically run another ad to get Facebook followers for your page. And it's a very low, I would say 2 to 3, no more than $5 a day. You basically run an ad for $5 a day, and the type of objective for that Facebook ad is going to be like, I'm trying to remember what the objective might be: brand exposure or traffic. I think that's the one, traffic. You're going to choose traffic. And then when you choose traffic, you select what other, parameters you want. If you want everybody in the US, if you want certain countries, whatever. And then you run the ad. And so when you run the ad, they are going to show your ad to people who are likely to follow your Facebook page. And so I'm probably getting over 100 followers on my page with $5 per ad. Now, somebody might say, well, followers don't equal sales. You're right. But it does equal social credibility, which is what you want. Because when you run an actual ad, the objective is to get sales, to convert leads to sales. You want to be able to have social credibility. So it all works together. So I constantly have what do you call it? I constantly have a brand or a traffic ad running, because it's going to, increase my Facebook following. So people who like they may not be ready to buy, but they like, your brand, they like what they see. So, they're going to eventually turn into people who will engage in your content, who will engage with your page, so that when people now start to come who are actual buyers, people who want to buy your product or service, they see that, you have an established following. So that's just a little tidbit for those who are trying to figure out how to get started, because you're going to see. I'm not going to say for everybody. Some people, you might have that viral touch and you might be able to post something and it goes viral, right? You might have that touch, but many of us, we don't have that touch. And so it is difficult to get your business from, not having followers to, having people with followers. So I think that it's going to be it's going to be very important. So if you have a business, make sure you are, thinking about, especially if your business was straight up, was on TikTok, you got to think about, what is my next move? What is the next step? Because obviously we don't know how long this ban is going to last. And people made millions on TikTok, millions. And so hopefully they thought in advance what that would do to their business, and that they would know how they were going to handle that. But like I said, I tried it and it didn't work. And so sometimes you have to do the things that are going to work for you. You have to do, because when I realized that, I said, I realized I didn't have to be an owner operator, and I'm doing TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I said, I can't do it all. So I think I heard some advice from because I'm always listening to either podcasts or other videos of business owners and how they navigate around, social media and getting their business out there. And one of the things I heard was focus on two platforms. And now with TikTok not being one of the platforms, you can focus on maybe YouTube and Instagram, or YouTube and Facebook. But pick 2 platforms to focus on, because trying to focus on every platform is just not going to work. It's just not. And trust me, I've tried, because and even just posting the same video, and what I often see is that the video does differently on every platform. So if I was posting something for Instagram and I did the same thing on TikTok and Facebook and in YouTube, it just performs differently. What I will say though is posting shorts on YouTube, it can quickly, you can get a lot of subscribers in a short amount of time if they're, good shorts, but also it is a great brand exposure. Like, so people like Alex Harmozy, I think is his name. That's what he did to really grow his following. And so people will know his brand. These shorts that are very, obviously in a minute time frame. Now I think you can do longer shorts, but shorts prior to them extending the time, just a minute, and it will be the most impactful things in a minute, or the most engaging content in a minute. And so if you are able to master that and do that on YouTube, you can definitely grow your brand in that way. So while if you're trying to be a content creator, you want to focus more on the long form content, right? And I think people like me, business people like me, you're not really thinking about it in terms of being a content creator. I'm thinking about it more in terms of business. Like, I'm trying to get on here and sell my Batana oil. Okay. So I think that, if you are trying to get your business name out there, shorts, live streams are good. I love live streams because there's no editing afterwards, and it is what it is. You're going to get whatever with all the mistakes. That's what you're getting. Okay. So I think it's very interesting what's going to happen. One of the other things is that there are other apps that are in this bundle, but one of the big apps is CapCut. And I personally have to figure out something with that, because I didn't even know CapCut was included with it, but obviously it is. And CapCut I was using for other things, so I'll have to figure out something. But so that's kind of the deal. It's very interesting, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm surprised that it actually went through. But yeah, so I'm down here and I am going to get started. My husband is already doing the labels for the bottles. I'll be doing rose water today to send into Amazon, as well as the growth oil. I'll also pack some Batana oil. I did get a Batana wholesale request, so I will be sending you a note back. So if you are interested in Batana wholesale, let me show you what you would get if you want to purchase our Batana wholesale. So if you're interested in purchasing our Batana oil wholesale, this is what it's going to look like. It comes in this gallon container, but it is by weight. This is a 5 pound. It's over 5 pounds, but I think that when you include the weight of the container, if you take away the weight of the container, it's roughly a little over 5 pounds. But that's what you're going to get, 5 pounds. So it's not quite at the top. A full gallon is going to be like a 7-8 pound. But how I receive it from Honduras is in by weight. So it's going to be 2.5 kg, which is a little over 5 pounds. So if you are interested, email us at info@locklicious.com. info@locklicious.com. And we'll be happy to supply Batana oil by the gallon. And so we'll talk more about price and everything once you show me your interest, because there's a lot of money in this. And there are a lot of people who are selling Batana oil on TikTok. Like, they were crushing it. When I tell you they were crushing it, that's how I even thought to do Batana oil, because they were crushing it. And how they were crushing it, because if you go to their TikTok shop page, you'll see they sold like 2,000, 3,000. And so it really piqued my interest. I'm like, what is this Batana oil business? And a friend of mine, she said, hey, I think you should start selling Batana oil. And so I said, okay. So then I, was able to find, our supplier. And so I wonder what these businesses are going to do. And so just know here, okay, I started Batana oil here. So don't let them come and take over the Batana market over here. We locked in with Locklicious Batana oil, okay? So other than that, I'll stay on for another minute and make it 20 minutes. But getting ready to do it, because I have a lot to do. Have quite a bit of orders to do. I probably should have did this when I was doing the orders. Maybe I'll come back later, and while I'm doing the orders, who knows? To give a shout out to all of those who have purchased, because we have a lot of people who purchase from YouTube. So which brings me to that point that I was making earlier, is that you can definitely build a business on YouTube. On this channel, I'm not, if content creation, if I get like monetized, because I don't have the 4,000 watch hours. I was close at one point, but I'm not now. But if I get the 4,000 watch hours, then yeah, okay, great. But the goal here isn't to be a content creator. The goal here is to get my business out. That's the goal is. So, but I think indirectly a content creator because I'm producing content for the platform. But I'm trying to put a face to the brand, but also get my brand out there. So, definitely something to think about if you are, trying to start a business or not, right? If you're trying to start a business or if you're trying to be a content creator. So, anyway, I am going to head on out. But thank you very much for your time. And I don't know when I'll be back. Maybe I'll come back when I'm doing the orders. Who knows? We'll see. All right. But you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll see you soon.